Hello everyone. I'm making masculine cards today for my Facebook Live. It's my class to go this week, and we are going to work with Adventurous Sky. This is a new set in the annual catalog, and it's great for masculine cards. I don't know about you, but I always need masculine cards. So we're going to get started. I'm going to first get my Facebook page here on my iPad so I can actually see what you're seeing, and then I can know if I'm in the picture or not. And then just one more really simple fast adjustment on my computer. My laptop is here too, so I can see your comments. So let me get that going. How is everybody today? When you jump on, I would love for you to say hi and let me know how your day's going. Oops, I thought I had the sound turned off on my computer. There we go. Now I can see your comments better, hopefully. Anyway, let's get started with Adventurous Sky, and we're going to do a fun fold. It's one fun fold, and we're going to do it 3 different ways. So I'm excited to share these with you. I have to click a couple things on my phone here, so I'll go upside down, but you'll be right side up. So we should be good to go. I'm using my glass mat today. I haven't used it the past couple of videos just because I was doing some techniques with that I needed paper for, and I just used my grid paper. So hopefully I'll get that. Still's a little crooked, isn't it? That's okay. We'll get going. I'll keep working at it as we go. I'm partly using it today just to remind you that right now demonstrators can order the Glass Mat Studio. It comes with this little, whatever this is, this little mat, silicone mat, and I use this all the time. I put little die cuts in it. If I'm using a blending brush, I put my stamp pad on it so that it doesn't move around while I'm getting ink on the brush. Anyway, I do really use that. It also comes with a cleaning cloth. I forgot to grab that. I saved that. I don't know why. I mean, I didn't use it, so it's still in the bag. I think I don't know what I was saving it for, but I need to get it back out. Okay, so here is the stamp set. So we've got 3 different sizes of airplanes, 3 different sizes of cloud formations. There's I call this a texture stamp, and then several greetings. There's a Father's Day greeting, but there's also birthday, you're the best, flying by to say hi, you always lift me up, and to my friend. So we're going to use most of those today on our cards. And I don't know if I said this earlier, but we're making easel cards. And it's all the same. Here, let me get some paper out. Every card is the same template. It's the same fold. And I'm going to show you different ways to use it. Use this fold. So here's the fold. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So the way you cut your paper is the same you cut it for a normal card that just closes like this, just a normal size card. So, but this time, so it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then you usually score at 4 1/4, and then I scored one more time at 2 1/8. So that's what makes this work for several different things that we're going to do today. All right, let's go ahead and get some stamping done. I see that Diane's on. Diane is from South Dakota. Hi, Diane. It's so nice to see you. And Kathy is on. Good to see you too, Kathy. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to stamp this airplane. Now, the artwork on these is sketchy. Does that make sense? I'm going to use Night of Navy ink. What I mean by sketchy is it looks like a sketch artist made it, where some of the lines aren't all connected. I don't know how to explain it. That's how I describe it. That is not an art term, but that is how I think of it. That said, you can color these, but what I did is, first of all, I took out, let me get my bits out here. got a lot of, there you go. Sometimes it's easier to just dump it out and then look for it that way. But let me get these out of the way. I used the colors that the artists at Stampin' Up used here. So there's their plane. So I grabbed my copper clay. It's a in color from last year, which means we have it this year, and at the end of this catalog it won't be current, but we have a whole year with it, so we have a long time with it yet. Copper clay is one of my favorites from that collection of colors. It's a really nice color for, well, first of all, for any masculine cards. It has that kind of reddish brown look. It's beautiful for fall cards as well. And I'm just gonna color in just parts of this plane. Those of you that know me and watch me, you know I'm not a big fan of coloring. I don't mind little bits like this at all, but, and the only reason is it just takes longer to finish your card, and usually I'm like, oh, I'm excited about this card, and I kind of want to get it done. Then the other thing I did with copper clay is there are some, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I'll hold this up. There are some, what would be metal posts or wires. I'm so technical. My husband works for Duncan Aviation. It's a family-owned airline, not airline. They sell parts for planes all over the U.S. Anyway, I'm getting off track. But my technical term is these wires. I don't know what they are. They're metal. They're metallic something. Yes? Kathy, you like copper clay. It is such a pretty color. And hi, Christy. It has been on your list. You know, me too, Christy. I didn't actually get it on my first order. Pre-order, actually. As demonstrators, we're able to order the month before it goes live to customers, so we can start making samples and start getting ready to show people the new stamp sets. I did have it on my list as well at the beginning. Let's see, what else do I want to do with this? All right, we're going to color the front of this plane with smoky slate. For several reasons. One, I have an uncle, my last uncle, that he has a plane, and he's been flying it all his life. Now, he lately has dropped back quite a bit, and I'm not sure how much longer he's going to continue to fly it. But nevertheless, you know, when I think of my Uncle Jim, I think of airplanes. The other thing I'm going to do with my copper clay is I'm going to come back in here, and I'm taking this from what the artist did here. Can you see like some of those little, well, I don't know, shading lines? Shading lines. That's, I don't know what to call them, but these little lines that kind of give the plane what would be like maybe where a shadow would fall, something like that. And then let's go ahead, and I'm gonna also make those copper clay. But what I'm saying is you can color this airplane or not. Like one we're gonna make today, I'm coloring this one just so people that like to color can see how the artistry works with coloring. And we're gonna, but I'm losing my train of thought here, my friends. You're like, I know, Joey, we're used to watching you lose your train of thought. I think this is the right one. Yep, that's the right one. I think that's the only one we have to die cut. So let me look at the inside of the card. Yep, that's all we have to die cut. So let me get the die cutting machine. And we'll go ahead and get this die cut. Now, another thing, my dear friends, if you don't have this die cutting machine, it is on sale now for 10% off. So, and I know if you're with Stampin' Up products, if you've been purchasing those, you probably purchased the Big Shot that we have for many, many years. And it is a great die cutting machine. There's no doubt about it. This one is better. It's better because it die cuts deeper because all of our dies now are made to go with this machine. So they're made to cut the absolute best with this machine. Die other thing is that it cuts so smoothly. I mean, when you roll it through, it is really, really smooth. Our Big Shot used to really kind of clink and crack, and see how smooth that is with this one. Anyway, if you're thinking about this die cutting machine, if you've been thinking about it for a while, it's time to get it because it's 10% off. I don't actually remember it ever being on sale. It's possible that it was, but I just don't remember it. Anyway, it's a perfect time to get it. And this week, and through Sunday, if you use this host code, you'll be getting this card class to go. I will be sending you all the bits and pieces to make all these cards if your order is $40 or more. If it's $50 or more, I'll also add an embellishment to it. Okay, let's go ahead and make this card. Let's see, how did I do? Yeah, this one goes this way. All right. So now to begin with, we want to put our Designer Series paper on the bottom of this sheet. Hi, Julie. So nice to have you join today. All right, let's go ahead and just use our seal. Well, Joey, what the heck here? Sometimes I think it's the glass mat. I usually don't have trouble because normally I was crafting with this all the time during celebration. If you do have trouble with the glass mat, with your adhesive taking, rolling like it should, just get out your, this little mat. Oh gosh, silicone mat. Couldn't think of what we call it. So this DSP is 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. The other thing, my friends, is I did get these cards loaded onto my my blog, my Create with Joey blog. You can find it at createwithjoey.com. And I did put the measurements on there. Now, if you're on my email list, every week I send free tutorials, sometimes multiple tutorials to the people on my email list. But this tutorial, I was writing it this morning, is almost finished. Will go to those people who put in orders this week. So this is a detailed tutorial. It has all the directions, all the measurements. And it looks like this when you get it. So it shows what the cards, and then it has close-ups and then directions and all the supplies I used. So that's what your PDF will look like. That also comes, as I said, when you put in an order this week for $40 or more. Okay, now these have directions, my friends. So let's get our planes flying the right way. I'm mainly saying that to myself, not to you. Now, the other thing we have to be careful of is we don't want to go with our adhesive above this line, because then that will glue our card shut where we don't want it glued shut. So let's go ahead and put adhesive just on the lower part, making sure we're not going above that line. So now you could use dimensionals. I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal. And I'm turning it over like this so I can see exactly that I don't go above that line. So we're going to go ahead and glue this down, kind of looking around to make sure I have equal distance on all sides of it. I didn't continue with my reason for buying this set. I might have got off track because, as you know, that does happen. But I mentioned that my husband Steve works for a local family-owned company that sells airplane parts, and they have they fly, so celebrity planes come in all the time that they service and take care of, and our Nebraska sports teams, kind of thinking how I want to do this. Let's go ahead and put the plane on this first. Our University of Nebraska sports teams fly in and out at Duncan Airport, and my husband's office is right above where the Duncan planes, the family planes, are owned, and it's also where the university teams and some celebrities that come in with their planes come right in front of his office, so he gets to look down and see people come out of their planes and get back into their planes. Yeah, so I'm going to be careful where I put these dimensionals as part of his work day, so that's kind of fun. Right now there's not too much going on sports-wise, but he often would see the volleyball team and the football team come and go from the airport. But anyway, that's a long story made longer to say why I felt like I need to have this set. But you know what? You don't have to have people in your life that are associated with planes, because everyone's associated with planes. Unless you just don't fly anywhere and for personal reasons, you probably have a relationship with airplanes. Good or bad as that might be. All right, now I put a post last week about cutting your 8.5 by 11 basic white paper when you're cutting mats for the inside of your card, and this one isn't going to have one because it's white, but usually if it's a colored card, then I put a white mat on the inside 4 by 5 1/4, and then I said these are the strips that are left when you are cutting your paper down to make those mats, and so I keep them to use on greetings that are really skinny, and so we're gonna do that today. Greetings that are really skinny are sometimes a little bit tricky to stamp. So, and this is a skinny block, so I probably would do better to put it on a bigger block, but we're gonna give it the good old college try and see if I can get it straight. I'm gonna bring the little strip here down and see if I can get this straight. Now I probably will get my head in the camera, so please forgive me for that. I'm gonna try and go straight down. Now they're so skinny, it's easy to wiggle them, and then you get ink on the outside of your stamp, and that gets on your paper, so it can be frustrating. It just takes a little practice. Or as I said, putting a little skinny stamp like this on a little bit bigger block like this would probably be better, but I went with that one. I actually like those little skinny blocks. I'm just gonna angle this with my scissors to give it just a little bit more visual interest, maybe just a little bit more, because I'm gonna put a little piece of textured metallic copper paper. That's a lot to say. If you haven't, hold on. If you haven't noticed an annual catalog, or if you don't have one, let me know. If you don't have a demonstrator, I can get a catalog to you. This is new. It's called Textured Metallic Specialty Paper. And it is 3 colors. So there's copper, and then they call this tungsten, and then gold. So I don't know if you can see the texture. Yeah, it does look like you can see it. If I don't get too close to you, I'm gone too close, and then it's harder to see. But anyway, I use that. You get one 12 by 12 piece of each of those 3 colors. Oh gosh, this light's really, I'll see if I can get that to be better. And then this one, let's try and get that back out of the way. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab, oh, I dumped everything out, didn't I? And I might have dumped out my little piece of copper paper, and it might be missing. Oh gosh. Okay, let's just cut one. Let me get it. Oh no, I kept it over here. Okay, so here we go. This is just a 1/2 inch by maybe 2 inches or so, and I'm gonna glue this one with my adhesive. Now I am going to actually get my mat back out here. Where is my mat? Oh my goodness. Here we go into the Space Cadet Joey time. All right, I was gonna get my mat out to glue on so I wouldn't get glue on my glass mat, but it doesn't really matter because this cleans really, really easily. That's the other thing I like about it. Okay, I'm just gonna put this on so that the copper shows just a little bit down here to give it just a little bit of zip and zing. A little bit of, I know it's a masculine card, but it can still have a little bit of what I want to say. I'm not going to call it sparkle, but a little bit of gleam to it. And then we're just going to stick this down here. Actually, I don't know. I think this needs to be skinnier. Let's see if I can cut this straight. I need a better scissors for this. To me, maybe ½ an inch for this greeting is a little bit too fat. So maybe it's so skinny, maybe 3/8 of an inch. I like that better. We're gonna go with that. So I'll put that in my tutorial. If you're putting in an order and you're getting the tutorial, I'll put 3/8 of an inch. I don't have my tutorial completely done, so I can change that. I think now it says ½ an inch, but I'll fix it so it's a little skinnier. I think it needs to be skinnier. I think your copper can be ½ an inch. We'll just put on like that, and then our little card is done. Oh no, we need the inside, and then we'll do some bling. So on the inside of this one, I did use just a ½ inch strip, and I put "You're the Best," plain and simple. Plain is P-L-A-N-E. I'm seeing your comments that a lot of you really love this set. I'm so glad. I'm glad I chose to show it today. And I'm using it today primarily because Father's Day is coming. And I actually, I don't have my dad and we don't have Steve's dad, but I always send my uncle in Kansas City. I normally almost always send him a Father's Day card. I often send my brother a Father's Day card just because they're dads. They're not my dad, obviously, but they're dads and well, my uncle isn't a dad, but he's been so present in all of our lives that he's a dad-like person in my life. So I send him a Father's Day card. Actually, we're going to his house. I think I said he lives in Kansas City. He lives on a lake. I don't know if I said that part. But and they have a fabulous 4th of July, celebration on the lake. Let's see, I'm going to put this up just a little. I'm putting it up maybe about ½ an inch. You could put it further up. You could put it up 3/4 of an inch, and then you have your cute little easel card. So this is what it looks like from the side, and you can see that the top is free to move that way. So it's kind of a surprise when they open it. But it's not done. We need some bling on it. This is kind of sparkly. These are the 2023-25 in color opaque sparkle dots. Opaque sparkle dots, they're called. And let's get a few of those on our card. I'm grabbing my, oh my gosh, my Take Your Pick tool's all falling apart. Oh, that's my old one. I have an old one and a new one. I bought a new one because my old one, I don't know, it just wasn't, all these little things that screw in and out were too loose. And I thought, I don't know, that's not the way it's supposed to work, and it's driving me nuts, so I bought a new one. These little gems, though, I started to say, they are the in colors that we're using today. The copper clay is on here, and they have I'm going to try and get them. Oh, you can see the sparkle in the camera if I hold it still. Can see this, they have a little tiny bits of glitter in the top. You guys, they're really, really pretty. So we're going to add that with, but I don't think it's girly. I'm just going to go with that. And so here's our card. There's our easel card, like this. And I'm trying to show it to you so you can see it. So on a desk, it's going to sit like this. And then I'll close like that. Make sense? Okay, there's card number 1. Let's go on and make our next card. As I said, they're going to all have the same basic fold. We're gonna use this easel fold for all 3 cards. Although on the 3rd card, it's not gonna be an easel fold. It's gonna be what do you call it? Accordion. So let's go ahead and get this one going. Now this one, we're gonna use 2 of the spectacular dies from this set. So in this one, I've already die cut these just to save time. Let me go ahead and dump everything out of this one too. So I die cut these just to save a little time on the video, but this is this one, obvious, well, you know, it's going to be upside down like that. And then this one will be upside down like this. So I did this out of that copper that's in that textured metallic paper, and then this is just the Night of Navy. Now these dies have a lot of texture, so you can see all the texture that they've put into these, and they look so nice. So you don't stamp those, you just die cut those to put on your card. All right, so we're going to put those aside for a minute, and we'll start to assemble our card. So we are going to do a little bit of stamping first on this guy. So I am going to grab scrap paper for this because I'm going to stamp off the edge of the paper, and I'm going to take this cute texture stamp. I love texture stamps. A lot of times with flowers, they're like little tiny dots, or if some kind of an eclectic set, it'll be like just any kind of just little non-image texture stamp. I don't know how else to say it. And I'm going to stamp off because I wanted this to not be too prominent, but we're going to stamp this on the top of this little white piece. I know it's probably hard to see. This piece is 3 3/4 by 5. And stamping it off, and then we're going to just do the same thing down on this side, like so. And then I'm going to take just a minute to clean my stamp because I lay them on my desk like this, and you know, if you know, you know. If you leave them up and you haven't cleaned them facing up, then you know for sure you're going to put your card in it when you don't want ink on it, and you're going to get ink where you don't want it. Oops. Oh, yeah, I was making swap cards with this. I did my swap for my team with this card. Our swap theme was masculine cards, but I wanted to show you how to do it, so I just turned it over so I can show you. And I put in on a piece of Night of Navy that's just slightly larger. So here we go. And again, all the measurements will be in the PDF that you'll get if you put in your order through Sunday. This host code is good through Sunday. Okay, look, before we go any further with that, I'm kind of scattered with this, I feel like, but we'll get her done. I already die cut from the Stylish, they're called Stylish Shapes dies. I've die cut just a little label here in copper clay, our favorite color of the day today. And I'm going to, let me look at my sample. I think this is a birthday card, yeah. This is a birthday card. The fonts on this are so cute too. I don't know, they're kind of nostalgic. Is that a word for stamps? I feel like they're kind of old-fashioned and nostalgic, and I think that makes them especially appealing. Okay, I'm just stamping up with Night of Navy, and then I'm going to bring this down here where I can get right over it to get it straight. You could just go ahead and stamp first on your copper clay cardstock and then die cut it, but I'm living dangerously here on Facebook. If you are watching on Facebook and you haven't liked or subscribed to my page, I would invite you to do that so you can be part of our community. If you're watching on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any. If you're on YouTube, I put all my links in the, oops, this is moving around. We don't want that to move around. I put all my links in the video description, so you can find my blog link. You can find the link to find out more about my classes to go. All of that will be in my in the description of the video. Can't think and do this at the same time. Now, the other thing we're going to do to this card is we're going to stamp a little plane on the inside. So I'm going to kind of figure out where this is going to go. As I said, I've been making these about a ½ inch from the bottom of the card, and then I'm going to grab my littlest airplane stamp, go back to my Knight of Navy, grab my scrap paper again, because we're going to stamp off for this guy too. So I'm just going to, am I in the film? Yeah, there we go. And then stamp off, and then a little stamp there in the corner. So you guys, the other thing I forgot to say is that all our bundles are an extra 10% off through the end of June. So this bundle right now is an extra 10% off. And if you're a demonstrator, that means you can get you are already getting a discount of either 20 or 20% depending on your title with Stampin' Up. And then bundles were already 10% off, and now they're another 10% off. So it's a perfect time to join Stampin' Up if you have been thinking about it and you just haven't jumped in yet, because of all the things that are going on. You'll get your extra 20 to 25% off of all of your stamping supplies that you order, and you can also get in on purchasing products that are pre-order. They're pre-order products for the new online exclusives that are coming. So this is gonna do this. I'm gonna crease this better here with my bone folder. But the 10% bundle sale on all bundles is really awesome, because sometimes when they have a sale, it's only on certain things and not everything in that block. So this is gonna go like this. So let's go back and let's turn this, oh, let's put some DSP here. Let's finish the front of our card. So our DSP is 2.5 by, wow, it should be 5. It looks like it's a little long. Yeah, we're gonna trim this. Let me get my trimmer out. But as I started to say, sometimes sales are not on everything in one category, but they are, oops, not that way. Want to go to exactly 5, I think. It was just a little teeny bit long. Well, it doesn't look like it there, does it? Well, let's see what happens here. There we go. Maybe my blue is just a little bit big. Let's just a touch too long. I didn't want it to go over the edge. So I like these plaids too. In this paper, they have the same pattern in gray, smoky slate, and that's nice too. And here's cute airplanes on the back of this one. The blues are boho blue and Knight of Navy. Well, again, boho blue is one of those 2000, oops, too high with that. 2023-25 in colors. There you go. And it looks so nice with copper clay and navy, I think. All right, so now, whoops, let's finish this. Put all this together. We're going to put a greeting, "You're the best." We're going to do that greeting on the bottom of this copper clay circle. So this is another die from the Stylish Shapes dies. And we'll go ahead and stamp this in Knight of Navy towards the bottom of your circle so that you have room for your plane. There we go. And when I'm stamping water-based ink on, well, any kind of ink on colored cardstock, I hold my stamp down just a little bit longer to let the ink absorb. So that's just a little tip. Oh, I have an extra label here, so I don't need that. Let's go ahead and put our plane together. I'm going to kind of dry fit this first and see where I need to put glue. Let's see. Looks like the best places would be I think this lines up exactly with the tail, but that makes this come down, just this to come down a little bit farther. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very selective here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Now that's more than a little bit. Don't put that much on it. And then here, and then I'm just going to put it to the top right here of that little section. And then let's try that. I think that'll work. And then I'm going to line up the wheels, 'cause I don't want to have to move this too much. And then I'm going to line up the front. Should the front go all the way? No, I think it goes here. Yeah. So I am going to get a little bit of glue on the front of my plane, but that's okay. I want to get this tail lined up like so. Now the beauty of Tombow glue is it'll let you, kind of, there we go. That's pretty good. It'll let you move it around a little bit. And I just realized that we don't have a propeller on this plane, and it needs a propeller. So I'll show you that die anyway, because it's kind of a good die to know what it does. Let's go ahead and put this together, and then we'll do our propeller. So I'll go ahead and close my Tombow, then get out my Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm sorry if you've been making comments and I haven't watched. My computer's kind of spinning a little bit. Oh, I see. Brenda's joined us. Hi, Brenda. Good to see you. And I'll get some dimensionals on the back of this. And then we'll grab some of that copper metallic, textured metallic specialty paper. Yeah, that's what it's called, I think. And go ahead and get this guy on here. I'm centering this on the card, and then our plane's going to go like this. So I don't want my dimensionals to go beyond the circle. So again, I'm going to try to use my plane as a guide here and stay inside the circle. And the only reason I'm doing that is I try not to double up dimensionals on dimensionals, just for mailing, the sake of mailing, so that it doesn't get as bulky. So they got that like that. So there we go. We can go ahead and put this on the front of our card, and then we'll die cut the propellers to go on. I have some silver ones here, but they're for the next card, so I don't want to use them. So once again, I'm keeping as my guide that fold that's at 2 1/8 inch there, and so that I don't get adhesive above it. I'm going to just move this to where I can see a little better. You could use Tombow for this if you wanted to make really sure it wasn't going to come undone when people are handling it and folding it, because this is going to go like this on their desk. I'm trying to hold it straight so you can see it, maybe like that. Okay, but let's put propellers on. I think we need propellers on a plane for sure, don't we? So let me grab that covered paper. Let's get the paper out, and because I don't see a scrap laying around. This is the die for the propeller, so it's really skinny and it cuts 2. So all we need is really maybe 3/4 of an inch of that. I'm going to just cut that off camera just to save a little time. Cut about 3/4 of an inch. I'm also going to just die cut it off camera, because you've seen me die cut, you know how that works. So let me just do this really quick. I've been trying to set up Ecamm. Well, I did pay for Ecamm, and what Ecamm is a program that works with Apple computers to let you go to both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. I spent some time on it the first day that I ordered it, and I haven't been able to get back to it, but I'm working on getting to be live on YouTube at the same time. I'll get there. Okay, I'm going to put, you know, I don't know about this. I don't know if this should be, do they have 1 or 2 propellers on planes? I just figured since it cut 2, I should be putting 2 on my plane, but I don't know about that. I might be wrong. I didn't even look up a picture of a plane. I thought, well, I didn't see the need to. I'm just pinching these mini glue dots because this is so tiny. It's bigger. The glue dot is bigger than this little place in the middle where I'm gluing these together. Or adhering, I should say, because I'm not using glue. You could use glue. And then I'm just putting this on the front of our plane. And last but not least, let's get some gems on this. These I love. They're a new embellishment. They're called adhesive-backed metallic gems. And there's copper, silver, and gold. And I'm going to use the copper ones because we're using copper today. And these are so pretty too. It's been fun ordering the new embellishments from the new catalog. Let's get one up here maybe. Because, you know, you can't really see, you really can't tell what they look like in the catalog. You can kind of tell, but not really. But look how shiny those are. I'm not going to say sparkle because maybe we don't want sparkle as such on a card for one of our guys. But isn't that pretty? And the copper paper, and then you just put it like this. They can set it up on their desk. This is how it looks from the side. This is how it will look sitting on their desk or wherever they want to display your cards. See how pretty? Isn't that pretty? I love this. And look how easy this fun fold is. It's so super easy. Now we're going to do the same thing on our last card. I have cut my smoky slate the same, 5.5 by 8.5, scored it at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. And now I've got some DSP here to get out. I'm going to put on. This is all from the paper is called, it isn't called Adventurous Sky. It's called, okay, I need to look it up. I don't want to give you the wrong thing. It's right here on my desk. It's called Take to the Sky. So, get out my sample so I can see what I'm doing here. And this one, we're going to make this same fold into an accordion fold instead of a easel card. So, thank you, Kathy. Oh, thanks, Julie. You guys know how to make me feel good. It always makes me happy when you comment that you enjoy my cards. Because I enjoy making them, and I'm excited to share them with you, so it makes me happy that you enjoy them too. This one, instead of folding in like this, like we've been doing, like this, we're going to fold back like this towards itself. So it folds like this towards itself. And then again, it's really good to use your bone folder to make your creases stay good and flat. Makes it a little bit easier working with them too. Now for this one, the first thing we're going to do is put this mat on the inside. So this mat is 4 by 5 1/4. We talked about cutting those at the beginning of the video. And if you're watching replay, and if you're watching on YouTube, I still love for you to comment. I come back and look at all my comments, and I always respond. If I haven't responded, I just haven't seen it. But I do try to check, especially the first week of a video. But I check them all the time. And Facebook, whoops, let me make sure what I'm doing here. One of these is skinnier than the other, so I got to make sure I've got this right. They look the same, but they're not. Whoops, this goes like this. This one this needs a 1 7/8 inch by 5 1/4 panel. And this one needs a full 2 inch. And that's what we have here. So I think I got it right. So let me go ahead. Let's get this card out of the way temporarily. Let's go ahead and get this down. So I will have these cut for you in your card kits. So you'll just have to check that you have the 1 7/8 inch on the outside panel, and then your 2 inch one, because this is the same paper. It's got the gray on the front, and it's got this is the one I said was, well, I guess they're not the same, but similar to that one, that paper. I'll just say this card, I know I'm scattered, squirrel. This card really does make me think of my dad. He would have worn his shirt with this kind of a pattern. He liked gray and he liked blue. And he had blue eyes. My eyes are hazel. My mom's eyes are brown. My brother's eyes are brown. And my dad's eyes were hazel. He had beautiful blue eyes. Let's go ahead and stamp the greeting. But I did think of my dad when I made this. This is going to say Happiest Father's Day. I'm not sure who's going to get this one. Maybe Steve will get it from Teddy. Teddy's our Maltipoo puppy. He's about maybe 9 months old now. And since I think airplanes are good for Steve because he loves his job, and I can't even tell you how much of a blessing his job is. Those of you that have been friends with me for a while, you know we've been on kind of a journey with that. All right, now before we do any more here, we're going to go ahead and stamp some stuff. Okay, that's the technical word for the procedures that are going to happen. Now, let's grab our scrap paper, and this time we're going to go with Balmy Blue. Not Balmy Blue, Boho Blue. Boho Blue is such a beautiful blue. It's light blue, but it's kind of an icy blue, which I really love. I like cool colors in general. You know, cool as in the cool as opposed to warm colors. I like warm colors too. I like a lot of colors, but I like this blue so much. Now I'm going to stamp off on this because I want these little clouds, maybe even twice. I want these little clouds to be pretty faint. Maybe not that faint. Let's try just one stamp off and see what we get. That's probably better. One stamp off, and then since those are so light, I might put some together there. And then let's just do kind of random clouds. Like so. These clouds are kind of fun. They actually make me think of snowballs. I don't know why. They look like snowball piles to me. Let's get a little bit more. Maybe just a little touch right there. There we go. Okay, so now this frame or label, whatever you want to call it, is actually, I had some questions about this yesterday from my team last night. Where did you get that die? So this is kind of unexpected. This die comes from Wildflower Designs. So on this stamp set, you have the dies that will cut out these flowers, but these dies are used for all kinds of frames and any kind of card you're making. So I thought it was kind of good for this particular card, so I got it out for that. We're also going to stamp our airplane. Now this is the biggest airplane in the stamp set. I think this is big enough. Yeah, this is good. And we're going to stamp this. I'm going to change my mind on this. On my card, my sample card, I stamped it on white, but I'm going to stick with it. I was almost going to change to stamp it on boho blue, but I did a little tiny bit of coloring on it, so we probably need to stick with white. It's pretty and white. It just is probably not going to show up as well in the video. But when stamping full strength of boho blue on basic white cardstock, cleaning it really quick off the camera. You can't see my cleaning pad, but it's right here. And then we're going to cut this out. I don't think we have to cut anything else out. This is ready to go. Put that off to the side. Then we'll get out our die cutting machine. And we'll get out our dies. There we go. These colors make me happy. And also just working with planes makes me happy. I think when you're getting on a plane, usually you're going to some place you like. I guess if you work and you have to be you travel all the time, maybe you don't particularly look forward to going on a plane, but most of the time it's going to, well, I shouldn't say most of the time. For me, most of the time when I travel, I'm going to some place that's going to be fun. See family or vacation or something. This is moving around. Sorry. I probably better tape this down. It just doesn't want to line up. Sometimes it's like that. Now, actually getting to the plane is sometimes not so fun in an airport because of all the security, baggage. Gosh, Joey, I can't get this lined up. Security, doing all those kinds of things. But once you're heading towards the plane, all that's past you, and you can just rest and look forward to traveling. And I will say, before COVID, it was more fun. I went to Europe right before COVID. The spring, I think it was the spring right before COVID. Anyway, it was a beautiful plane ride. I mean, I wasn't in first class. I was in Comfort Plus on Delta. And oh my gosh, they came and brought food and hot cloths to clean your face. It was just it was one of probably my favorite plane ride ever. But they don't do that now. Steve and I went to London a few days before the Stampin' Up! Norway trip because Stampin' Up! Also subsidized the hotel that we were in for a few days before. You could go a few days and they would help subsidize, gosh, I can't talk, subsidize your hotel room. So we did that. Okay, tell me in the comments, do you guys love to travel on planes, or are you like, nah, I'd rather just stamp them? I don't really love to. I don't really love to travel on airplanes, which I do get that. We're going to take some boho blue ribbon. The ink colors all have matching ribbon. I'm just going to tie this around, and we're going to make a little knot here. So as I put this around, I'm going to get my ribbon to be, if I can get it to hold still. You know what? Let me get my mat back out here, because then it won't move around. See how nice this mat is to actually hold things still, and then they don't move. So I'm going to get my ribbon to go up and down and be perpendicular to the way it's going around this panel, this label here. I'm going to stick this through. Of course, I'm on Facebook, so bows don't usually cooperate. I'm going to pull that end through, and then I'm going to keep my finger here, and see this part? I'm going to try and keep that part up and so that it stays flat like that. Because that helps your bow stay just a little bit more flat, and then you can pull it any way you want to, either towards the left and right, or either towards left to right or right to left, if that makes sense. And because this ribbon is slightly bulky, so I want it to be as flat as possible. I'm going to pull it even tighter. I'm actually going to just put my thumb there to try and keep that flat part on the front. So there's a little ribbon tying hint for you. With bulky ribbons, it's sometimes hard to make a bow work. This is actually bulky enough. And for bulky cards, you know, postage wise, I just put an extra 1 ounce stamp on my cards. As I said, I don't think I'm sending this one. I think this one will probably go to Steve from Teddy for Father's Day. I'm going to go ahead and put this, just checking if this is the next step, or here, let's put our plain on first before we put this panel on our card. I'm gonna see that. Can you see why I think maybe I should have stamped this plain on blue cardstock? And again, I want to make sure I'm staying on the plain with my dimensionals and not going off of my label. So it'll lay nicely on my card. But anyway, that's why I went really back and forth between the boho blue, and that's why I stamped off my clouds. I did try it on gray. I didn't really like that. Oh, oops, that's not the best. Don't do that. Make sure you check the back so that you haven't twisted your ribbon. I'll go back after I'm off camera and I will fix that. This I'm going to put this down with dimensionals just because there is ribbon on the back of it. And I really want it to stay because it's on a movable part. When something's going to move and people are going to handle it and move it, then you really need to make sure you've got it adhered really well, so that it doesn't, so they don't open it and it comes off and comes apart. Okay, so we're gonna just center this over here like so. So you can see that this is gonna make an accordion like this. I'm trying to look for an inside greeting for this. Well, I'm thinking of Teddy. So we're going to put this here. I know I'm scattered just all over the place. This is actually, this little circle is going to help actually keep the card closed, so it's not like flying open. And I'm kind of paying attention to where my dimensionals are going so that I don't glue that shut. I want to make sure this just is going to hold this little corner here down. Does that make sense? So it doesn't, if it's like this, it doesn't hurt anything. If you don't want to deal with an extra part there, you don't need it. You could put it up here as well. But I did put it there to actually help hold that. So I think on the inside of this, I've got Happiest Father's Day. I don't know if this one will fit or not. That's not going to fit, but there's another greeting. You always lift me up. That will work for Teddy because Steve does always lift Teddy up. Literally, we both lift him up. He's growing though. Oh my gosh. We had a multi-poo Brady before Teddy, who was 10 pounds at his top weight. Teddy has passed that. He's closer to 14. Always lift me up. Oh, that's cute. And maybe we need a little airplane on the inside of this card too. Let's put a little airplane at the bottom here. It's nice to have several sizes of airplanes. Or maybe I'll put it right there. There we go. Oh, Steve will like that. He hasn't seen this card. Sometimes he walks over to see what I'm working on. He hasn't seen this one, so it'll be a surprise. Okay, there we go, my friends. Oh, we don't have our propellers on this plane either. I did the die cutting of those early, ahead of time, just again because you've already seen me die cut them. I'm going to put a little squeezed up mini glue dot here. And let's put, oh, wait, I'm not done with this. I wanted this to stand out a little bit more, so I did go and take my smoky slate marker. I'm not seeing your comments, my friends. My computer screen has stalled out. I took a little bit, these little wind marks, you know, what it looks like when a propeller is spinning. And I'm taking my marker, and wherever the artist put those little lines to make it look like it's spinning, I put down my gray marker, and I think, I'm trying to look at my sample, I think I actually colored in this front of my plane to just help it stand out just a little bit more, since it's a white plane on a white background, okay, like so. And then I'm not going to color any more of it. It's kind of tempting to keep coloring, but I don't really want it colored because the whole point was to show you can make this card without coloring your card. And then we put this guy there. Look how cute this is, you guys, like this. And then let's go ahead and put some of those metallic dots here. So we're going to take some of these silver ones up here, and then let's put one more maybe down here. There we go. Okay, I really love this card. I hope you guys have gotten some ideas of how to use these cards, this stamp set, and these dies. And you can use these folds. You can use this easel fold for any card, any stamps that you have. So if you're like, well, I'm not really an airplane person, or I don't have that yet, no worries. You can use this idea for any cards that you have. And you can use the supply kit that I send you as a thank you for your order for any stamp sets that you have, because you'll get all the DSP will be cut. These die cuts will be cut for you. Nothing that comes with this bundle will be done for you. You'll need the stamps and the dies. You'll need the bundle if you want them to look like my cards. But the rest of it will all be ready for you. Okay, let me check your comments here and see if I can get my computer to bring them up. I'm looking at your comments on air travel. Let me go ahead and bring you up here, and I have to get myself turned right side up. So let me get the toolbar up. There we go. Oh, technology is so much fun. And then I'm glaring so much in the camera. Let's do that. All right, let me check here what you're saying about air travel. I've done lots of plane travel, Chrissy says. However, road trip is our thing. Yes. When we can drive, we drive. It's just nice to have your car, for one thing. And sometimes we stay overnight part way and then drive the rest of the way the next day. Julie likes 2-hour plane trips. 5 hours is too much. 5 hours is too much for me if I have to stop and get back on a plane. If I have to just fly 5 hours, I'm usually okay with that. But yeah, I'm ready to get off by the end of 5 hours too. Thank you, Kathy. I'm glad you like my cards. Chrissy, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time with me. I appreciate your comments. Every time you share and comment and like my videos and page, you help me out. And thank you for the hearts. I love those too. They make me so happy. If you try the easel card, I would love for you to let me see it. You know, snap a photo, and you can go on my Create with Joy page and share it there. You're welcome to share it there. I have a Stampers group, Create with Joey Stampers group, that you can come and share your whatever you're making there. But if you do an easel card in particular, I would love to see how you do it. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next Wednesday at 12:30 on my page as well. Bye-bye. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye.